Alright. Okay. I'll be demonstrating how to build a plastic PVC explosive. With these, I just didn't have any more caps to put on this, so these are optional. I prefer to use actual caps for the PVC. But nonetheless, you can just take the closed cap and attach to where you're going to want your bottom to be, like that. Hold on. And then take some tape, obviously not Scotch tape, something that is either sturdy or can stretch. So I'm using electrical tape for something as small as this one. Yeah, so you get that on there. Wrap that around quite a few times to make sure that your cap is not going to go flying off when it combusts, or you will lose pressure and the explosion will not do what you want it to. Now, make sure our powder, if you can make sure you can see it, make sure your powder is like, if you take it out of the shell like these, they'll be in like little balls. Just go ahead and break those balls up so your powder is in actual powder form. It's going to be very messy to clean up, so be careful about how you do it. I have more powder to spare, so I'm going to try to pack this down inside. And see how much more powder I can actually fit inside of the tube. Okay, yeah, since we're at the top there, I'm going to pour the rest of it on a container here. Now, take something solid like the top of this. I'm going to press it down the best I can. Alright, drop my hands. Now we take a cap with a hole in it, as you can see there, and make sure your fuse can freely fit in this hole. If it can't, what's going to happen is your fuse is going to hit the plastic, and the plastic is going to melt, and it's going to stop your fuse from burning. So go ahead and put that on. Kind of shake it, make sure you don't have a lot of powder coming out, and then we take the tape and repeat the same process but on the outside, or not the outside but the other side.
I've been watching both doors. I don't know when you're walking in.
I prefer to actually tape the entire tube, so because PVC will shatter, and if we have tape on the PVC, it will not give it room to shatter. So the powder have more time to completely combust. So there we have our main setup, very simple. And we just take our fuse, bury it in the powder. But something, well, actually, matter of fact, I do have it here. Okay, so here's another step. If you don't have a long fuse, what you can always do is just take like firecracker paper, which is where I got the fuses from firecrackers, and just tear you a small pieces of paper off. And take one piece of your fuse, set it on the very edge, and take a second fuse and set it right there, like that. And just don't do it real heavy, or the fuses will not be able to burn. But take your paper and somewhat snug wrap the paper around the fuses. And what the paper does is, instead of just taking your tape and using only that to hold the fuse together, because it would do the same thing with plastic will, it'll melt and cause the fuse to not be able to burn. You just do it like that. Take the tape. Take the paper you use it for your fuse. Just lightly wrap it around. Like so. Now, I prefer a longer fuse because it gives me time to get away from these, because you never know what it's going to do. You know what I mean? It might send a piece of plastic at you and, hit you in the face or something like that. Also, when you light it, you don't know how quick the fuse is going to burn. So, it'd be just about my luck to be doing something like this, and all of a sudden, the fuse burn real quick, and then the bomb go off right in front of me. Those would be two of your worst case scenario issues. Well, I get the paper to wrap. There we go. Just wrap that right up. I mean, if you want a shorter fuse, if you build these right, you can throw them, but I just put them on the ground and light them. But, it's all preference of how you want to use them.
Sometimes if I go to your house after I get off work, depending on what you cook, I just take that.
There's like a little spot right there that sometimes they have a little place so you can push them in together like that. And then take your tape and just put one more little bit layer on it. It doesn't have to be, like I said, it doesn't have to be a whole lot of tape, just enough to hold it together. And just make sure it's not touching your fuse, and wrap it right around the paper like that. So now it's not going to come apart. Whatever side you want for your fuse, stick that inside. Take the tape. It might not wrap the way you want it the first couple of times you wrap it, but eventually you will be able to work your way up around the fuse. And that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to get the tape to touch that fuse.
Okay. I don't know if it's
And once you get it to touch the fuse, you just pull some space out and just kind of take it and wrap it around that fuse. It's not the prettiest in the world, but that's how it's done. So now you have your basic PVC black powder explosive.